asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Let me just before I get into anything, like I said, I do this on my own time, right? Supposedly, the creator of the show said it's supposed to be a weekly episode, and supposedly, creator is me. But guess what? It's been a little bit. It's been about a month, and that's okay. That's okay. That is all right. You know why? The life moves on. We're moving forward. I bet you didn't even notice a month went by because you're having such a good time and you're super motivated, right? So, anyways, welcome to What Lights Your Fire. Like I mentioned, I haven't posted in a little bit, but, been doing some stuff, been busy. Life gets at you, and like I said, it moves quick. So, I didn't even really notice it had been a month. But that does not mean that your friend here has not been cooking up some absolutely thematic ideas for the show, right? When I say thematic, this is a motivational, inspirational podcast. Don't even really know fully if I use that word correctly. I'm kind of stupid, but thematic means theme. So the theme of the episode always has got something to do with motivation and to try and keep you pushing forward when life throws you obstacles, or you just find in life to be dragging, right? It's dragging a little bit, and you're like, oh, I got to do this again. At least, it's mostly for me because, like, I'll listen back to these episodes and I'll think, oh, okay, that's a good point. Try and focus on it the rest of the week. So, recapping, not last week, I wish. Last episode, I mentioned, not leaving question marks at the end of your day, trying to, come through every interaction that you have or every goal that you have, not leaving question marks behind. So, did you do every task that you could have, in an efficient manner with all your diligence? Were you able to turn your work in, to turn that project in, to have that team meeting? And at the end of it, no one said, I'm a little confused on this, or, I don't really think, this was beneficial to the team. Wrong, okay? You were not like that. You left no questions. You were like James Harrison, and you sweated through your sweatsuit. Speaking of sweat, just came back from a run. And that's just who I am, Whenever I go running, no music in my ears, just me, my groaning, like, I get motivated because I'm thinking, hey, after this, I get to go somewhere else. I get to run somewhere and then run back. And it's like, hey, that's the journey of life, right? It all circles around. Don't really know what I'm saying. My point is, I was sweating, still kind of residually, my body temp is high, but my brain capacity is off the charts. That's why I sat down and tried to make episode 22 here. And these were just a couple tidbits that I had written down over the past month or so. And because, like I said, your boy doesn't quit. Your boy is always on it. Okay, he's always thinking. a lot of brainwaves bouncing in this bad boy. So I got some good little things that I thought of that were like, hey, I could use this for the next episode. So, this is just straight from the inner being here. This is the unedited thought process that I had, and I'm just gonna read it out to you guys, and then I'll try and break down what I really mean by it and how I can give you examples, but also how you guys might be able to utilize it in your day-to-day life to be the best versions of yourselves, right? Because that's what I'm here for, trying to fuel you a little bit. So, episode 22. So far, I don't have a title, but here we go with what my thoughts are. I remember exactly where I was when I thought this first one. It was a weekend. I had to go to work, and I was driving, and it was 4:55 in the morning. And I was by myself on the road because, why? It's 4:55 in the morning on a Sunday. So who else would be on the road besides me, myself, and I? And I wrote down, well, actually, I didn't write it. I spoke it in my phone because I was like, oh, yeah. I saw the sun like beginning to peak because it's getting to that longer days of the year, right? So the sun rises earlier. I shouldn't have to explain that to you guys. But what I said out loud in the moment, I don't know what made me think of it, but I thought of, all right, this is the sentence. Ready? Listen to how hard this is. No matter how dark the clouds are in front of the sun, it's still gonna shine. Now, given the fact that I just said that to you, let it sink in. All right, let it marinate within your being. And then let's break it down, right? No matter how dark the clouds are in front of the sun, it's still shining, right? Because, us, when it's nighttime, right, it's dark. Still shining on the other side of the world. This is meteorology at its basic, at its finest, right? There are clouds in the sky sometimes, and sometimes they block the sun. But point being, it's a metaphor, right, for life. So, no matter how dark the clouds are, so the clouds being your given situation or your given scenario, whether you're down on your luck, right? You got fired from your job, or you got an injury right now, and you're trying to rehab it, or you're say things aren't going your way in your personal life, or whatever it may be. There's a lot of clouds on any given day, because not every day is a good day, right? There's good in every day, but not every day necessarily is a good day for you, right? Sometimes we have bad days, but that doesn't mean there's no good. So that's the point here. No matter how dark the clouds may be, the sun is the sun is still shining. The sun is still shining. All right, sorry about that cut. You might not have noticed it due to my absolutely masterpiece editing skills that I do have. But what I was saying was, the sun's still shining, right? So no matter how, life is getting at you, and I've had this, countless times in my life. I'm sure everyone has. I'm sure the more wisdom you have, right, from being older, the more of these kind of days you've had, or the kind of moments you've had where you're like, damn, it doesn't feel like I'm ever going to win. It doesn't feel like anything's going to turn around for me. But you know what? I'm sure it did. And if it hasn't yet, just remember the sun is most certainly still shining, and it will shine on you very soon. So, it's about having the willpower to remember that. It's about having it's about kind of having the skills to handle adversity when those clouds are dark, right? The thunder's rolling. Oh, when the thunder rolls. Garth Brooks, I love you for that song. And the thunder rolls. Kind of a sad song, I think. I think it's about, like, I think it's about someone having an affair. I could be wrong about that. But, wow, all right. We took a weird turn. We took a very weird turn today. But, yeah, no, Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks. My brain just popped in and said, hey, got to talk about that. But going back to it, right? When the thunder's rolling, when the lightning strikes, the sun is still shining, all right? It's just behind all that. And once you can get through, once you can lock it down, lock it in, and stick with your goals, no matter how much adversity you face, that sun will shine on you. So, no matter how dark those clouds are, in front of the sun, it's still gonna shine. And that is a that is a what lights your fire copyright right there. Okay, no one go post that anywhere, because that's all me. That's on my brain. And then the next thing here is kind of transitioning into, it's using that positive outlook while you're able to realize that there are brighter days ahead of you, while you're in this, funk, or while you're in this moment when you don't have motivation, when you don't feel like anybody's rooting for you. You're able to remind yourself on past times when you have gotten through things, when you have been able to conquer, and when you have been able to stay strong when those clouds are so dark, right? When you feel like all is lost, and you did get through, and the sun is now shining upon you, right? You're in your high times, you're in your good times. I bring this back a lot to, I mean, me for real. This is just the most recent version of this for me, so I'm able to draw upon it very easily. But when I face rejection, right? I think I just bumped something. Might sound weird on the recording, but it doesn't matter. When I face rejection, right, from professional school for the first time, that was hard for me, because it felt like, I was used to this sort of like, boom, all right, I do it, I'm going to get it done. Boom, I do it, I'm going to succeed. Boom, 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 boom. Rolling through, these courses and these studies where I was able to be, the man that I wanted to be. I was able to be the candidate I wanted to be. And I thought, it's all just going to come, right? And I didn't really think about rejection, right? But I think that's a good attitude to have. It's smart to plan, right, for contingencies and all that. But I really do, for me personally, I think only about what success I'm going to get. And then when rejection or failure does happen, I face it because that's just how life rolls. And, I'm not going to plan for failure. Some people think it's smarter to do so, but I like to plan for success and then fall forward. Boom. Did you understand what I just did there? Draw back to the first episode. Anyways, it's about, being able to draw upon those experiences. So, like I was saying with the rejection thing, I drew upon, recently when I was at work, I was having a rough time doing the technical work that I do on an everyday basis, and I mean every day because I'm practically there all the time, and I do a lot of technical medical work, and so as I was doing it, I was having a hard time, and I was like, man, damn, why am I having such a bad time at this? And today's just not my day. I kept saying like, oh, hey, can you come fill in for me real quick? I'm not able to get this, and then they would say, oh, it's okay, I'll do it. They'd step in for me, right? And I felt like a failure because I was like, this is the only job, right now at this given time that someone has put responsibility towards me to get done, right? And I'm not able to do it. It's a job that I do every day that I'm able to do well. Why is it different today? And here's the little secret for you. It's not. It wasn't different. It wasn't different. It was just, everybody has those days where something's a little bit off with you, right? Maybe it was my mental state. Maybe I was just too tired. Maybe I was thinking about something else down the week or something like that. It doesn't matter. Whatever it was. There was nothing different about me physically that I could have, had an excuse for, right? It was just one of those days. And so I was able to remind myself failure doesn't define who you are, right? It doesn't. And I drew upon that schooling rejection, and I reminded myself, hey, you soaked in this before, right? And this is a lot lesser of a scale in my opinion, but I was able to learn a lesson from this and draw upon that in my day-to-day life. So drawing back on when the clouds were over me, right, when I felt like all is lost, I was able to come out of it, work my way through that, through finding new resources to better myself as a candidate for professional school, for veterinary school. And I was able to find this job. I was able to kind of just put myself out there more and have confidence. This is the most important part, is that I learned to have more confidence in myself, to put myself in positions that I felt uncomfortable in. So what I did at work was I had more confidence in myself. I said, no, you're so good at this, okay? You understand? They always look at you for if someone's having a rough time, and you step in and you help someone out with the technical work. So you do that right now. And so I said, I got this, I'm MJ in game 6 right now, and nobody is guarding me, okay? I mean, nobody is guarding me. And so I stepped back up, and I had confidence in myself, and I was able to clear those clouds away, and I was able to let the sun shine back on me, okay? Because I got the work done. I was proud of myself, even though it's a daily thing that I do, and I knew that I was going to get back into it. I knew it was only going to be for a brief time. I still had that mental outlook, which I think, in my opinion, was the worst part, was I said, oh, I'm a failure. No, you're not, you dum-dum. All right, you're not a failure just because you messed up. Everybody messes up. So I had the motivation in my heart to come back, 5 seconds later and say, let me try that again. Even if it makes me look like a fool and I fail again. Even if it makes me look like a fool, who cares, right? Who cares? Having the confidence in yourself to succeed after you fail, I think, is a dangerous mentality, right? It's a dangerous mentality. And I didn't plan on this right now, okay? I did not plan on this. However, this is an absolutely lethal transition here. Having the confidence to succeed after you fail. There's one man that I think can do that pretty well, and he's done it before. His name, the notorious Conor McGregor. So, I only mention this because I'm currently watching he has a new documentary out on Netflix. It's called McGregor Forever. And, if you're not into the sport of mixed martial arts, I'm sure you might have heard, of this guy, Conor McGregor, right? Regardless, say that you've been living under a rock and you're not into the athletic world. You haven't even heard his name, or you don't know his story, whatever. He was, or he still is. He is a MMA fighter, has been for a long time, and he was from nothing, pretty much, in Ireland. He used to be a plumber, and he was like, screw that, My dreams are too big, I want to follow him. So he chased them. He was able to succeed. He has this, big brash personality. a lot of charisma when he speaks. He's very, bold with how he thinks. And a lot of the quotes from in his documentary are like, they're all stuff about kind of what I've been saying, right? He has the power of visualization. So he says like, I've always thought that Irish accent, I can't do it well, but I've always thought, yeah, that I was going to be the champion. There was no other outcome. I was always going to be the champion. And so he finds himself, he makes his way through the ranks, he crushes through, and he becomes, champion of one division, champion of another division, la-di-da-di-da. Anyways, today, he was a little bit older, and he recently went through an injury. he broke his tibia, I believe, which is, pretty devastating, right? But when you have all that money, I'm sure you can afford good doctors. So he has these good doctors, and this is why I was transitioning into this, having the confidence to succeed after you fail. He says in the documentary, he says like, I got an iron, I got a steel rod in me leg now. Who's gonna stop me? For me personally, I know if I can put myself in that shoes, I just, I'm in the middle of a fight, and my shin snaps, or my ankle breaks, or whatever. I'm out. Okay, see ya. I've had a good time here. I no longer want to do this. I'm good with having one metal rod in my body for the rest of my life. I don't want more. But him, this is what he fights for, right? This is what he fights for. And this is what he lives for. And so it's like, this is all he knows, right? And he has this mentality of, it doesn't matter. He's literally in the hospital bed, and he's like, I don't bloody care if I have to fight in the parking lot tonight. I'm finishing what I started, right? I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to be the best. And he, even with all this money or whatever, you'd think that the success has gotten to him, right? But he still has that drive. And he failed, right? He failed before he got knocked out, right? He suffered some big losses in his career, but every single time, within a week, within 5 days or whatever, he's back training again because he's got that McGregor mentality. So I'm just on the wave right now. I'm on the McGregor forever wave. Highly recommend if you've never actually followed him at all throughout his career. I have, just because he's a enticing character, right? He's a good, I guess you could say, spirit to think of when you are battling at your lowest, or you're not in a point in your life where excuse me, where things are going your way, right? You're still going to win, right? You're going to have that attitude. It's never been. It was. I've always thought I was going to be the champion, right? Always. So that's what I'm going to think. I'm always going to be the champion. Even after I fail, I'm going to succeed. And that goes for me at work, and that was the example I gave you. But, he's able to get through the dark clouds, right? The sun is now shining on him. And so I think it's kind of a good way to wrap up the episode by just saying, if you can follow an attitude like that, where you always, no matter what, you have this power of visualization, you say, I'm going to do this. For me personally, there's no other outcome. Okay, there's no other outcome when I say this. I'm going to be a veterinarian. I'm going to be a killer leader in the community, and I'm going to bring people together through the power of animal health care. You mark my words on that. You put it on the... it was about to curse real bad. It was about to absolutely swear like a pirate. But you know what? Family-friendly content. So you put it on the flipping mirror, write it in Expo marker, hell, write it in Sharpie on your forehead, and then look at it in the mirror, and when you read it backwards, you'll know that it's permanent, okay? You'll know that it's permanent. That's what I'm going to do. I used to do that in college a lot. I would write stuff on my bathroom mirror like a psychopath. I remember one time my sister was over at my apartment, and she had to use the bathroom or whatever, and she comes out and was like, "What's all that writing on your mirror?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I probably should clean that up before before an outside person came into my apartment." I'm just thinking back to it. She was so astounded that there was writing on the mirror. But to me, it's normal. I'm a weird guy. What can I say? But it doesn't matter. If you're able to do stuff like that, then I just think you're a winner. I really do. And, even if you don't need that kind of mentality in your life, and I've said this before, you're retired, or, you're a family man, or you're an elementary school kid, or whatever you are, you could still be a winner in any way that you imagine, right? However you envision success, have that mentality, right? Go spend time with your kids. Go be the best teacher you can be. Go be, the best student you can be. Go be the best, dog walker you can be. Whatever you are, whoever you are, try and live like that. Try and lose your mind in this game, That's it's just something I like, but yeah, so I don't know. I guess I could just kind of end this episode by saying it's been a little bit, but I've been thinking about you guys. Okay, I have been. Don't you think I haven't been? That's why I wrote stuff down in my notes. That's why when I'm driving to work early in the morning, you're on me brain. So I'm gonna try and find this quote here from McGregor. It's about him getting his law. All right, I just like it.
I've lost my mind during this game, yeah. Like Vincent van Gogh. He dedicated his life to his art and lost his mind in the process. That's happened to me. Well, fuck it. And that gold belt is around my waist. And my mother has a big mansion. And my girlfriend has a different car for every day of the week. And my kids have everything they ever want. Then it will pay.
Yeah. Okay, so now, I just got back from a run. Gonna go do 14 more miles. Anyways, thanks for tuning in if you did. I'm proud of you. I will return with a little bit more frequent posting. But just remember, I'm always thinking. I'm always doing. And so are you, and I'm proud of it. So, keep pushing. I'll catch you in episode 23. Reach out to me if you would, like to talk about an episode idea or anything. I've been getting more family, and friends and people I actually don't know reach out to me about stuff and ideas and saying, hey, you might like this, and I think it's really cool. I really do think it's cool, and I'm very glad to be able to at least leave some sort of impact on someone's brain, even if it's just one person, right? So hopefully you enjoyed something about this. Like I said, catch you in episode 23, and have a stupendous week.